Our first presenter is Dr. David Peacock, Executive Director of Community Service Learning. David has just recently joined the University of Alberta and is expert in university outreach practices, our good fortune. His talk is titled Widening Participation and Community Engagement, Challenges for Research-Intensive Selective Universities. David.
So good afternoon. I want to tell you about my Australian research into outreach practices of university staff into schools and communities located in low socioeconomic status areas. And I do so because I think it's got implications for us here. So the Australian government has expanded its higher education sector. It's financially incentivised the recruitment and the retention of low SES students and also Indigenous students, and that spurred new engagement initiatives from universities to communities. And so I studied two of those. One in a selective university, high admissions, that in practice took mostly high SES, high income students, and the other, an inclusive university open to people from all backgrounds. So what did I find? Well, differing things. For the selective university with the high admission standards, the mode of outreach was to recruit the best and the brightest, so-called from schools and students located in those low SES areas, and they did that through scholarships in year 10, which took them through university life, as long as they went to that university. Now, the logic of practice here was selection out of this particular community in small numbers and immersion into the university. Now, of course, in that model, this long-standing nexus between low educational achievement and low socioeconomic status was not impacted in the slightest. For the inclusive university, the mode of outreach was to support the aspirations of students and communities. It meant specific outreach to minority communities, such as the Pacific Islanders. Now, the logic of practice here was different. It wasn't selection, it was growth. This university knew that it had to expand the pool of applicants to come to that university. It had to go deeper and broader or wider. And that meant intervening alongside schools, with schools, to support them as they broke, or at least mitigated, this relationship between low SES, low educational achievement, low articulation into university. So what does that all mean for us? Well, we are the selective local university, right? We take the best and the brightest, highest admission standards, but we've got a problem. We've got domestic enrolments declining, at least for the past 5 years. Don't know exactly about this year yet. So what do? Well, we could redouble our efforts. We could do more of the same. We could recruit the best and the brightest away from our emerging competition here in the city and squeeze even more from our traditional hunting grounds, from our schools. But maybe we should be doing something different, or additionally. We could play a longer game. We could scale up our interventions into communities and with groups of people that hitherto have had no truck with higher education. We could intervene earlier into students' lives, junior high, and we could, with schools, help to reshape their educational trajectories, reimagine university as a realistic and as an entirely possible outcome for their lives. And that way, we could create longer-term demand for the university, ours, but also the higher education sector more generally. So what do? I think you know what my answer is, but what's yours? How do we align our business model with our social justice aspirations? Thank you.